Hello and welcome to INBAC Presents ProConnect. Hope you all are doing well. I'm really excited to introduce you all to our guest today. She is Nilima Phawde, a supremely talented, technically sophisticated, engineering plus project management professional. She has a pioneering career reflecting strong leadership qualifications coupled with hands-on experience in handling distributed control system DCS and SCADA as well as networking expertise to her credit. She is remarkably focused on achieving bottom line results. She is focused on implementing advanced technology solutions to meet diversity of needs. She holds superior record of delivering simultaneous large projects on time and under budget. Nilima, thank you for being in our show. We are utterly grateful.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now to begin our discussion today, Nilima, kindly let us know as a building automation user, what are the challenges faced due to poor integration of building systems? Also, would you please explain this problem with a real-time example?
Yeah, mainly, whenever we want to integrate the buildings, the problem that we face is with the interfaces, with the equipments. That's always a challenge. Whatever we specify in the specification, we make sure that we send all the information to the equipment vendor and they also confirm. But when the equipment actually reaches site and when there is a time that we really need to interface the equipment and handshake with the equipment, it never work right at the first time. We have to have this initial struggle to interface the device with the building management system. I will like to give an example. In our corporate office, we had hundreds of Toshiba VAVs that we were required to interface. These Toshiba devices actually came up with the proprietary driver, and it did not come with the standard driver. And the vendor kept on saying that we accept whatever protocol that you are asking for, the Modbus TCP or Modbus RTU. But the equipment did not have that. So what we had to do was we had to develop the interface and then do the handshake with the equipment and take it into BMS. So these are the issues actually we face.
That's really interesting to know. In that context, how do you think connected buildings can come as a solution to it?
Connected buildings will work very well, and that's, I think, is a future. However, connected building is actually not applicable for individual building. It is applicable for the big complexes where you have multiple buildings. Connected building will work very well. Okay. The thing is, in connected building, individual building will work as a node on a BMS, and each building and the complex can be monitored from the central location. Actually, we have this concept in our corporate office. We have around 15 to 20 buildings, and each building has its own per se called a controller with building controller and its operator station as well as the graphical user interface. And then all these buildings are connected over a network to a central facility control room, wherein all these buildings are monitored for all the equipment parameters as well as the performance parameters of the building in terms of energy, in terms of power consumption, in terms of their water uses, chilled water quantity uses, and all the things. Those are adding cost to the maintenance of the equipment.
This is a very relevant information. Thank you. Interoperability is still seen as a thing of the future, and many facility managers of commercial sites are yet not convinced about its many advantages. What is your message to them?
Interoperability is very important with the respect that in future most of this proprietary hardware and proprietary software is going out of the market. Most of these controllers, hardware controllers, are getting replaced with the software-based controller. uh, the brilliant software engineers are actually writing codes for these controller. These codes they will reside into the server, and it will work as a software controller. There will be no need of hardware controller in future, as well as the graphic user interfaces are available through web services. So all these controllers can be accessed through the web services. There will be operator interaction through this graphical user interface. So there will be no need of hardware controller and software controller from the building management system. So all these companies who are so-called building management system companies should realize this immediately. There will be no interface gateways or protocol converters, which will be hardware. All these drivers can be developed for all kind of protocols into software gateways. So the hardware which is there right now as a gateway hardware or the controller hardware is going to extinct, and we will only have computer servers taking care of all these. What the BMS industry also need to realize that more and more devices are getting smart. The intelligence is getting transferred to the edge devices like sensors. The edge computing is happening at the devices, and there is very few things or value additions are going to get added by the controller or the gateway. So we are getting away with the hardware based solution, and in future we will only have software as a service. Also, this software as a service, we do not have to pay a capital cost. This will be a subscription based solution, and we may yearly pay the subscription. So the cost of building management system by following software as a solution will drastically reduce, and there will be not much capex and a very small opex. So that's how I looked at the future of building automation system, and that's why I feel the interoperability between the systems is very, very important. I think there should not be like X vendors building automation system and Y vendors controller and Z vendors solution for advanced analytics. It should not be that way. Anybody can use anybody's controller. The software can come from anybody. The dashboards and analytics can come from other vendors. So for the end user, there should be choice. Whoever is best in the particular function, the end user should be able to choose from it instead of going for X BMS vendor with the entire gamut of his proprietary things.
Thank you for explaining this in such a simple way. Now, I'm curious to know, what are the prospects of a connected built environment in India at present? How does your organization aim to bridge in the gap of our country's integrated infrastructure with the West?
We are already having connected buildings. All our telecom infrastructure pan India is already connected on the network, and it is monitored on the central control room. I don't think that we are any behind than the Western countries or Western companies. Rather, we are much ahead of them. in terms of backward integration. We are already making mega complexes, and we are trying to make them green. We are monitoring it centrally. We have our utilities, our facilities connected uh, on a central location, and it's been monitored from there.
That's really reassuring. Thank you, Nilima, for sharing this information. Now, according to few statistics, most of the successful infrastructure development in our country has been done by some foreign professionals. What is that thing which is missing in our industry which you would consider as the biggest challenge?
I don't agree with this. We have built our complexes ourselves. They were designed, engineered, installed, and commissioned by Indian engineers very well. Most of these building automation companies, they have their center of excellences office in India, and they are actually designing these buildings for not only for India but international community. So I really don't think that it's done by foreign vendors or engineers. It is very well done here in India. Most of the building automation companies have their center of excellence is India, and they are actually providing services from here. Maybe it's possible that they are importing this hardware because their manufacturing facilities are not in India and it's in abroad. So if I have to say that maybe the hardware is coming from out of India, but the entire service gamut is actually operating out of India. The other issue that I find in building automation industry is they are slow in adopting a new technology. Even today, wireless is not been adopted. The things like Internet of Things or NB-IoT is a good option for building solution, which is not adopted. IoT sensors have to come in numbers. For every small, however small or big the device is, we should be able to make it smart, and we should be able to monitor and control the device. This is true for both home automation and building automation. But still, everyone is actually following the conventional technologies that need to be changed. And every building, whether it's a residential or commercial, should have a smart building feature, and it should be able to connect and monitor if that is possible. Also, the solution need to be low cost and affordable. So that will make like everyone can have a smart building.
Wonderful. I'm sure this answer of yours would boost and instill a lot of confidence in Indian building automation professionals. Thank you, Nilima. Thank you for your concise and crisp answers. They thoroughly summarize the know-hows of interoperability in building automation from an end user's perspective in such a short span. Nilima, as we are about to conclude this discussion, do you have any message as a user to all stakeholders of building automation industry about connected buildings? And what are your thoughts about INBAC in that context?
I think many of these communities, automation communities in India and abroad, are systematically organized communities. However, I don't see that in building automation system. So with that context, INBAC is actually a very good concept. It will actually bring this fragmented community under one umbrella. And most of these people who are making sensors, who are making controllers, who are making small applications, who are making IoT devices, all these should come under this INBAC community. And then they should work towards making all these components interoperable. The customer should have choice to use one vendor's sensors, other vendor's controller, and the third vendor's software, and over and above, if there is analytics and machine learning and other stuff like that, intelligent devices, all those things should be, the end user should be able to choose, pick and choose, and make the system what he feels is good for their own applications or their own buildings. Also, the automation community should be able to talk about and show the dollar saved, energy efficiency of the building. We should be able to achieve that, and then it should be a attractive proposition for building end users by combining all these pieces together. Building automation systems should not just be a data collecting system. It should be a system that will give much more information and enable the user to take action based on data.
Thank you so much, Nilima. This has been a very illuminating discussion. A big thanks to you for your engrossing contribution and to all our viewers for watching this. Take care, bye bye, until we meet again with yet another exuberant personality and an intriguing topic. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.